Lake Jackson, this is Gerald Roznovsky, your mayor, and I'm here along with Modesto Mundo, who is our city manager. We're going to try to give you a quick update. There's just a huge amount of information that we have to share with y'all. We're going to try to break it into small bits, but again, this is our first attempt to get some initial information to the community. First, I just want to say is that it appears that we made it through this time without any kind of injury to individuals or any of our citizens. We didn't have anything reported, correctly?
No, sir.
Yeah. Our volunteer fire department made 22 calls last night, and they're actively working today. I don't know if you saw some of the posts that we have out there. They were out there helping our city crews remove trees from streets and so forth. And so if you know a volunteer fireman, give them a hug. They've really put a lot of effort into this, helping out our regular city staff. Going on with that, this morning I went out, and as soon as the sun came up, I went out with some of our city staff and to go through the city and try to see what kind of damage we had over the night. As you all know, we've got a huge amount of trees out there. That's one of the issues of being a tree city like we are, is that when you have storms like this, you're going to start seeing a lot of damage from fallen trees and stuff. Power lines are down. We're estimating at least 3/4 of the city is without power. It's probably more than that, and it's going to be tough. I know y'all are going to be frustrated about not having power. I've been in contact with CenterPoint today, early this morning, and talk to them about their timeline to see what their plans are and how they're going to address the issue here. The understanding I have right now is they're estimating at the best it's going to be 3 days to get power back down to our residential homes and stuff. What they do nowadays, in the past we've always seen that when a storm comes through, all of a sudden you see line crews come into your neighborhoods and start repairing stuff. That's not the way they operate anymore. Today, what you're going to see is a lot of CenterPoint trucks driving through the area, and they're doing assessments. They'll take all their assessments from the day, and then they have a team that will go through and do a timeline, a master plan, I guess you could say, for how to repair and get power to the individual homes and businesses as quickly as possible. So you're not going to see any line trucks today. If you do, it'll be very few that will be actually doing work. So again, I know it's going to be frustrating for you, but just please, this is a process that they've developed over the years, and it works, and it gets things up and running quickly for you. Again, real quick, while I was out driving around town, I was able to step out and talk to some of the neighbors and some of the people that have had damage to their homes because of trees and stuff. I just want to tell you that's extremely sad to see this happening in our city, and seeing the citizens being impacted by this storm. And we're here to help you as quickly as possible as we can. We are asking you to, if you have damage to your home or to your properties, to please call in. And what's the number? It's
979-415.
979-415. We'll put that on the screen.
We'll put it on the
as
screen.
We can remember
our own phone numbers.
Our number.
We've got a bunch of phone numbers.
2788.
I'm sorry. So it's 979-415-2788.
Yeah.
Say it again.
So 979-415-2788. If you'll call that line, we're really just looking. You can just tell us that your home is damaged, and we'll do a preliminary drive-by or walk. Walk in the yard and just try to get a big picture assessment of the damage.
Yeah. So again, just a quick view, and our goal today, right now, is what our city crews is to get the debris off the streets, and also we're asking you as citizens, as best as you can, safely move any kind of debris that you have to curbside. And we've got a contract crew that's going to come in and help us with removal of all the brush coming up and stuff. But
yes, sir.
Modesto is going to give you an overview of what we know happened overnight and where we're at this point right now. So
Yeah, Mayor, as you mentioned, the fire department had a lot of calls last night. Most of them were responding to down power lines and some smoke in the area, but we didn't actually have any true structure fires. Those were able to be contained. Utilities is one of the challenges that we have right now because of the power. All of our wells, except for one, are out, so we're completely 100% BWA. Fortunately, they did not lose power, so they've been able to maintain water for us and keep water pressure up, so that's good news. The power outage, though, does create difficulties for us and challenges in that we usually have to rotate now generators for lift stations, drain them, and move them around to keep the wastewater flowing. But the crews are doing an exceptional job there. Public Works, again, main job today is clearing the streets. Sanitation is, though, trying to pick up debris. We estimate, early estimates are around 200,000 cubic yards. So to give you kind of a big picture, we usually collect maybe 60,000 in 1 year. So this is 3 years, it could be almost 3 years worth of material, if I remember correctly. So we've already talked to our debris contractor to come out. They're getting ready to put their team together to help us assess that number and see if it's correct, and then they'll also put their strike team together for helping us. I would say that if it's similar to Ike, it takes up to 3 weeks to get all the collections. So that's where we'll really need the patience as well. Because we have a sanitation team that always does this, we were able to start today, and they're working on the south side is regular.
And the key thing is going to be is we really need people to keep their brush waste separate from any other waste.
Yeah. So if there is, so if you have anything like like fence material or anything like that, keep that separate from the brush material because we move those in two different directions. The other thing is, again, we mentioned the building department. Excuse me. The building department, they're assessing damage to buildings, sanitation. We've also we're asking the customer convenience center is open.
Okay.
So you can bring fence material there. The CCC or brush material. We're probably going to be a little more checking driver's license and stuff. Make sure that you are a Lake Jackson resident on that. But that center is open for anybody who needs to get material out. We're diverting our brush to our old landfill and saying that, so our trucks won't come through there. The call center at the EOC is open, but City Hall, we're also taking phone calls. We have a limited crew there. We'll open back there tomorrow. The rest of our city facilities are going to remain closed until we get power back on that, and still diverting the rest of the staff to helping out our crews out in the field. And then injuries, like you mentioned, we had no reported injuries for citizens and no reported injuries for city employees. So that's good news. And that's about what I have right now.
Yeah, and to go back, when I drove around the city and stuff and seeing that people were already starting to clean up and stuff, I was really impressed because people hit the ground running. I mean, there were people out there removing the small brush out of their yards, and I was really happy to see that people that were out there that were using chainsaws, there were people that had back brace straps on, and they had their hearing aids and protection and stuff like that, and it looked like neighbors were helping each other out, so there wasn't just one guy out there with a chainsaw trying to cut and move stuff. So it's we need to continue to work together as a community like we always have, and stay strong and push through this and get it resolved as quickly as possible. Thank you again, and please look. We'll do more of these updates as we go forward. Thank you very much.